Hello! Oh, I forget how quick YouTube are, man. I usually have time on Twitch. See all those things. My overlay doesn't seem to be coming up though. I mean, it's here, obviously, but let me get it on thingy. I'm having a YouTube day. So, some of you may know, probably a lot of you don't, I don't know. But I've been streaming live on Twitch pretty much every Friday. Just for a bit, doing just whatever I happen to be working on that day in some sort of chilled out capacity. Been a lot of the ActionRPG stuff. It's been a lot of Poke. Can't find anything on my desktop anymore. But I've only been doing that on Twitch because it turns out TOS-wise I'm not really allowed to do both simultaneously, and I like the idea of having, you know, not having all my eggs entirely in the YouTube basket, so I've been building up that kind of, I'll move the microphone. Oh gosh, apologies for that, rip anyone with headphones. I'll move this microphone over to here, hopefully I'm a bit more, it's probably a bit mumbly, I don't know. There we go. But yeah, I've been doing that, and I've been doing Twitch stuff for a while, and I figured, you know what, the poor YouTube folk haven't had a lot of stuff from me lately because I've been doing so much on this action RPG thing. Let's throw them a bone, we'll give them a live stream now and again. Yo, check out all these people. People show up on YouTube so much quicker. Because y'all are lazy and don't want to have to go subscribe to another thing. Anyway, where is my overlay thing? Webcam and overlay, that's... Oh, there we go. Okay, it's up. Oh, it's just not up on here. Why is it not up on that? On the 3840 view. Editor. Overlay. Where's my thing? Oh, is it there? It's just like hella big? Oh, okay, it's just... That's weird. Okay, there it is. Oh wait, am I streaming at like 380? Oh god, I think I'm streaming in 4K. I'm hella prepared for this stream today, guys, as you can all obviously tell. The thing is, I usually, because I stream on Twitch a lot, which I quite like, I get like, I don't know, like 30-40 people like viewing those. But because of that, and they trickle in slowly, so I usually have time, I just put it live, and then I have a bit of time just to sort everything out and get going before people show up. But I forget how quick you all are on YouTube. It's been a while since I've been here. Oh cool, those things work on here. Brown Boone is now following. Is that hooked into YouTube, or is that someone who just followed me? I don't even know. I don't even know if that's hooked into my YouTube stuff or not. I can't remember if I authenticated it. But thank you to that person, whether you be on... Oh no, look, it's got the Twitch icon. I think someone followed me on Twitch and that still does its thing. I think I can get that to work with YouTube and all that kind of thing. I haven't yet. So, thank you to anyone who subscribes or whatever in the meanwhile. But you're probably not going to get a little griddling. You go on both, there you go, there's a winner right there. And he knows the fireworks ting and everything. Yeah, we got a few new commands and things in the overlay. Not a whole lot, but I've been playing with stuff here and there. Let's see if I can get this playing. Oh, I need my chill music. Let's turn it down on the speakers a little. Hopefully, I never know what audio is like, so you'll have to let me know if it's terrible, like, volume-wise. But, that's just how it be. Anyway, what do we have? Let's do some things. I've been working on this, on this thing for a while. Some of y'all may recognize this from videos. Oh, not this. This is the stream overlay, which we've built now, so I can come back over to this thing. Please re-upload this video. Well, oh, what, you mean like the archive? Not sure what you mean. Oh yeah, and you can change color of your dude as well. The only thing I think that won't work here is the little crowns Patreon supporters get. We can't hear the fireworks like normal. It might just... You know? It might just be a bit quiet. It should be playing. Might just be quiet, I don't know. You can hear them, okay. I don't know, there might be some technical oddities. As I say, I've not streamed to here in a long time, and YouTube is weird and changes how everything works quite regularly. Yeah, I can hear the things. Does this work as well? If I press F1, I get this little voting display up in case I want people to vote on a thing. So if you press 1 or 2, it should like... Oh, I don't think this works on YouTube. We'll see. If I just type like 2. Let's see if this works. Okay, that works. Okay, I think it didn't work on Twitch at first. I knew it didn't work on one of them at first, but I think it works across both now. Cool. So that's in case I need people to vote on a thing. Currently it's just about which number you prefer between 1 or 2, I suppose. Or which colour, maybe, I don't know, people could have all kinds of reasons. But right now, I think 2 is killing it. So, congratulations 2, you are the preferred number of the now. Oh, that's my BRB screen. Ah, one more vote coming in for 1 at the end there, but a bit late. But I'm going to call that a victory for 2. Anywho, so we got this thing. It'll look a little bit different from the last time. Well, anyone's seen it actually, even my patrons have seen this, because we got some buildings I've drawn in here. I'm definitely going to credit the pixel artist whose stuff I've shamelessly referenced while making all this stuff. Because I've just been watching how someone else has drawn something vaguely like how I want this thing to look, and I've just drawn it like that. Which you shouldn't really do when you're making a game. Probably, I don't know. You don't want to just completely like absorb into the person's like style or whatever. But for the purposes of doing a tutorial, it's just I just need things to look vaguely like a generic video game. I'm like, whatever, as long as it is my work. You know? I need to get these things going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some like rooftops on here and have it so like they're there, and then you walk under them. When you walk under them, they kind of like fade out. So you can kind of see underneath. I was going to originally just do a room transition into like a house or whatever, but I mean that's a topic we will be covering anyway, just in the the transition from area to area, right? I should probably also make it so I can attack up and down at some point. It's not really finished yet. Oh yeah, I can go like full screen as well. What else was I going to say? So I mean, I'm showing some of this off because I figure a lot of y'all haven't necessarily seen all the stuff that's in this yet. So we've got these signposts, which are sort of generic entities. Like our NPCs will basically be the same object as these signposts are, and they can have dialogue where you can give an option, and they give responses to that, and you can provide responses. They say different things, and they don't have to say things, you can like do things with them. So it's like spawn a slime, yes, and then it'll do that and spawn a slime, and you can run whatever code you want. Everything else fade in? What do you mean? No, like you come in here, like we fade out this and then fade out the rest of the game world? That could maybe work, I don't know. It'd be a nice touch, wouldn't it, I guess? Like darken the outside world. We'll see when we get to it. Because I don't want to overcomplicate the tutorial. It's already adding something I wasn't going to do in the first place by doing the fade out. But I figure once I've got the artwork, actually doing it isn't too much work because I did the same thing in PokePoke, and so I already know how the code works and how to do it. Picking things up is a bit rough at the moment. Oh, thank you, Kay Asante, for the $10. What tool do I use for pixel art? Love your tutorials, by the way. I've been trying to get into Game Maker 2, and your tutorials are required viewing. So thank you. Here's $10. Thank you very much. That's very, very cool. Yeah, help me do this work for exactly $10 longer. That's very cool. Thank you very much. What pixel art tool do I use? Honestly, I mean, I'm not the person you should necessarily go to for advice on pixel art. I mean, if you like what I've done here, a lot of it has been just shamelessly referencing what other pixel artists do and just twisting and manipulating it. Not been strictly copying it, you know, I've been like having things on one screen and being like, so they put some pixels here and this looks kind of good and so on, which I know like all artists, you know, all artists like that to a degree, but this is like the best I can do. But that said, the tools I either use Game Maker Studio 2's like inbuilt thing, especially if I'm doing something quick, because it's actually pretty alright, or I use a tool I'm going to be using a bunch of today, Pixel Edit, which is this thing. Which is really cool. I really like it for doing animations and doing tiles. Anything to do with tiles, like it's kind of all built around tiles, so it's really good for that kind of thing. And it's just a pretty cool tool. It's not really being updated much anymore, so it's just kind of you get what you get, and it's version 0.4.8, so you know it's there are other things, like a lot of people really like Ace Sprite. I'm always put off by its UI, like the pixel art UI of it, but I know loads of people like it. I'd probably really like it if I had tried it, but I haven't really given it a fair shot. Alright, so what I was going to do, again, pretty much stealing how another pixel artist has kind of done this sort of thing, is use this as like a base layer, and I'm basically going to draw like something on top, like with the rooftop or whatever. So I'm going to like copy all of this noise, so I can just copy you. We'll make this canvas bigger. Giving us some more tiles to play, and we'll just pop this guy like down here somewhere. Maybe pop that tile up. Okay, and then what I'll do is basically make a new layer on top of all this. We'll actually name it this time. Roof. And I'm gonna try and undraw the upper. But what we're gonna do, because I've got this like cut off here that's like showing the top, I'm essentially gonna keep drawing this up as if like it's the front part. So like that'll like sort of like slots into place on top is the whole idea. I've just said I'm not the kind of person you should follow for pixel art, and yet here I am doing like a pixel art stream. Here's what it is. I'm just doing the work I need to do, guys, and I'm just streaming because I can. Oh gosh, right, okay. So that's gonna catch me a lot. Is I'm gonna be drawing this with this underneath, and thing I need to be mindful of is that we are actually working on a couple of different layers. So let's just copy this first of all onto the roof layer. And just think about exactly how we want this to be. So okay, because those are like the three. Okay, we also need one over here as well for what that'll look like. I think if I just copy and invert that though, it's almost the same, isn't it? We just need to cut you. There we go. And the idea is this will like come up and we'll create like, I don't know, like a diagonal rooftop here. Best action RPG in my esteem. That's a big question. Action, like, it's such a broad genre, and a few people have said to me, like, are you sure you want to do a video series on this? Because people are going to have a million different definitions of what a RPG means to them, and are probably going to come into the series and be like, this is not the thing I wanted it to be. But I like to think at least I've been very clear with the presentation of what I've been doing so far and with everything I've shown what kind of thing I'm going for in this, so you at least know what you're getting into. But ARPG can obviously mean a lot more than just, you know, top-down Zelda-likes or whatever. So when you're asking me what my favorite game in a genre like that is, you probably need to be more specific, because yo, there are a lot of games. Like, I really liked Hollow Knight. Could you call that an action RPG? I guess you could, but it's also like a Metroidvania type of thing. It's you could be a lot more specific than calling it an action RPG. You know, I really like Dark Souls. It's like a sad thing. Is that its own genre now? Not really, but it's a tough one. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. I just think, you know, just saying, if you want an answer, probably just need to narrow the scope. But I mean, you know, you only want to ask questions with big scopes like that. Like, people always ask, or people say what their favorite game is and so on all the time. But yeesh, talking about big questions, that's a big question. Cadence, a lot of people saying Cadence of Hyrule is really good. I've never played Crippler Necrodancer. Like, rhythm and RPG stuff together, like, to me, I'm just like, is that fun? And then I watched videos of it and I was like, it looks kind of fun. But I feel like it's the sort of thing I can see myself enjoying in theory. I just never feel in the mood for it whenever I, like, remember the game exists. I'm just like, oh yeah, Necrodancer, and oh yeah, Cadence of Hyrule. But I'm not in the mood for a rhythm-y thing right now, so I'm just like, eh. Not often in the mood for rhythm things. It's a very specific mood. How does this need to actually look? Let's turn you off for a minute. Think about this. So if we're gonna say that it's always this width, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, can we get away with doing something that's wider? Oh, it stretches over the edge on that, so do I want to do something like that? That's a good point. I need to bring this up as well. Yeah, that looks alright. Oh, does it? Let's clean that. go with that. Harden the edge, I don't think we needed to. When I started to learn coding, did I just learn whatever I wanted to, or did I set myself certain goals to reach each day or each week? I get where you're going with that question. More the form, definitely much more the. I guess you're kind of asking, like, did I learn it like systemically? Did I have like a specific plan? Or like, you know, really commit to learning to code, or did I just sort of do it naturally as a means to an end of what I wanted to do? And I definitely did more of that. I wanted to make video games, so I learned the things I needed to do that. I didn't like decide I want to become a programmer as such, you know, and like study programming. I very rarely learn things in that kind of highly disciplined academic sort of way. It's one of the hardest ways to learn something because it requires so much discipline often. I learned a lot just through being highly motivated and interested in the thing. Language did I learn first? I mean, I only really know how to write in GameMaker. Kind of. I know how to script and stuff and various different things. You know, I can do web pages and all that kind of nonsense. You know, I can do IT things, but I can like use the internet and find enough Stack Overflow nonsense to get away with not really knowing how to code in other languages. If I needed to do something in another language, I can do stuff. You know, it's like a comfortable tool, a thing I could put on my CV, you know. The only thing I could, like, really write down I know how to code in is GameMaker, really. Yeah. I'm struggling with working out how I want to put this roof and how I want to do the colours of it. What was it done here? So they did like a big wooden beam. Do you like... Yeah. Like this kind of thing, doesn't it? That's the kind of angle I want, don't I? I want it to either be, you know, I want it, yeah, a consistent pixel length there I think is good. So we'll do that and just take wherever it ends up and hope for the best. Trying to do diagonals with tiles and stuff is a murderous pain. Let me do one more and get away with it. It's a bit skinny on top then. Well, not necessarily, because we can widen that out. One of the things I really like with Pixel Edit as well is, I mean, loads of things have this, I guess, but just the keyboard shortcut I just found myself using a lot lately is just Control F, just to like flip things, and Control Shift F to flip it vertically. Just a really nice shortcut. Oh, that's a bit high, isn't it? I need one pixel down. There we go. Not right now, I'm afraid, James. Trying to brute force it. What do you mean by that? Okay. I'll probably make these beams a bit higher than they... Oh, right, because I think I'm taking into account... Haha. So... I think I've done this wrong up here, but we'll come to that. Let's do like this. Yeah. Why? Yeah, I just feel like it should be one more up, doesn't it? Just to give that sense of it being a... Is that too high for that? I think it might be now. Or is that too low? Let's do the bottom one. Oh, no, no. Redo, redo, redo. Something seems wrong. What have I done here? What have I done here? Something is off. Oh, it's just this is missing. Okay. Okay. Okay, this looks okay. Maybe that does need to be there though. It's not hard, man. My drawing, hopefully it makes it clearer if I bring this up. Looking like a roof. I do have the 100k reward. It's sitting behind me actually. I don't know if you can see it on stream. Oh yeah, behind the other counter friggin' monster. Oh no, you can't quite see it. It's right there, look. YouTube play button. And next to it's the weird certificate they send you as well. This thing where like...
Thank you for getting over 100,000 subscribers and making us, you yourself, lots of money. Please continue to be valuable service to our corporation. Signed by the CEO of YouTube.
Kinda cool. I've just noticed people are doing exclamation mark music for the link to the music, and it's sending it. I'm not sure. I don't think it's sending it to YouTube. I've just seen it sending it to Twitch chat. Because that's how my bot work. So that's I'll post it in the chat myself. That's the music I'm listening to. Probably, I don't think I found a way to write to YouTube chat from my overlay yet. So that doesn't work yet. So that's about that for those people who are posting that and getting none. Why am I not on Twitch? Because as what I said at the start of the stream, I usually stream on Twitch on each Friday, and I will continue doing that because it's cool. But I can't do both at once, which is Twitch being a meanie, but I'm certain if YouTube had the same, like, streaming near monopoly, they would be doing the same, kind of like how Sony was like really for cross-platform, and then all of a sudden, but Xbox were being the big bad no-nos, and then suddenly Xbox were for cross-platform games, and then Sony were like, no. It feels the same to me. Like they're both giant corporate assholes. But yeah, TOS thing with Twitch means you can't do streams to both simultaneously. Like if you stream to Twitch, Twitch has exclusive rights to that footage for 24 hours. So that's not for everyone though. That's just for people who are Twitch affiliates or Twitch partners, and I am now a Twitch affiliate. So my choice was either I stopped being a Twitch affiliate so I can continue just doing restream to both, which sucks because I like getting the bits and the things and the channel because the money is cool. And having the emotes and things like that is cool. But I'm still considering that as an option. I could just drop Twitch affiliate, and it feels like a bit of a shame. Or I can just stream to one of them, and I decided I'll keep streaming to Twitch because I would rather diversify the platforms, even at the expense of the fact that most people more rapidly show up here because it's in the same place as all my other work and that kind of thing. But which normally I think is fine when I'm doing lots of video content regular on YouTube, which I haven't been recently because I can't, because I'm doing this big action RPG thing at the moment, which is taking a very, very long time. And that'll just be a big beam, won't it, in the end? So yeah, it's taking a very, very long time, and so I'm posting to YouTube periodic updates from the Action RPG, little tutorials about small features like the GIF recording thing that came up the other day, and so on. Mixer, yeah, I'm considering taking a look at other streaming platforms. It's just it's such a disincentive to just having to start again, with these things. It's like when people ask me how to get into doing YouTube stuff, the best advice is always to start 10 years, well, probably about 15 years ago now. I don't get a lot of concurrent viewers on Twitch, but I get a bunch, and I've got quite a lot of followers and stuff over there, and nightmare enough trying to get people from YouTube over to there, let alone get everyone over to some new platform. I don't know if that's a bad reason or not, because like I would very much like to use a new, better platform. So like Caffeine looks quite cool, Mix looks quite cool. I'm sure they'll probably milkshake duck themselves eventually, but nonetheless, would be nice. Yeah, I could just do a big wooden beam over the top like that. I mean, I'm gonna do tiles though. Is that gonna look weird? We'll see. We will see. How should these tiles look as well? How's this person done it? I'm heavily referencing someone else's pixel art on the other screen that you can't see. So they will be credited in my videos. I would love to have just bought like an asset series on like itch or something and use that in a tutorial, but it's hard because I also want to sell the source code and stuff. It's just kind of a part of the model I do now. Doing that with someone else's artwork is like, I could ask for permission, but I don't know, I feel weird. I'm just like, if I was making artwork, I probably wouldn't let someone do that, so I'm just like, why would, you know, I don't know. You want to just sell my artwork that I'm selling for cheaper in a tutorial package? No. I could probably work out something, but I just haven't worked out what a good offer would be to people who want to do artwork for that kind of thing. Do I need a new color for this? Or is this dark color or not? It's got darker outlines than I do here. Do I need to pick up a dark? I do. Pick up like this color. Just even on this layer. Just on the outer edges of things. Just to nicely define those. I think that looks good. So one of my Patreon goals is to just eventually make enough that I can pay an artist to just do custom artwork for these things. Because then I could just be doing all the code, and this video series would probably be like on its way to getting released by now. But hey, that's how it be, you know. I like those new goals for my Patreon, you know, because it's directly like the content itself gets better. Holy shit, we're actually over 1,500. Oh no, maybe that just happened today. That was the goal for getting transcriptions and subtitles on videos, so I guess I have to start doing that. Yeah, I was gonna hire some people to like do that, because it's, well, at least a transcriber. Let's not putting that. Still to decide what the process will be for going back over older videos for that kind of thing. I would like to do that, or at least like the better ones, you know, like maybe the platformer series and just some of the fancier tutorial pieces I've done in the more recent stuff, you know. Go over them and do subtitles and things for people, or the ones that most people watch, I guess. I don't know. I gotta think about that. Okay, so back on the roof layer, let's get this new color involved, and not on that layer by mistake. I like how you control that layer even when it's invisible. Kind of glad that the Studio 2 editor actually doesn't let you do that. It's annoying because it brings up like a BOOM noise whenever you're doing a little dialogue, whereas, I don't know, I wish it just showed like an X on the screen or something. Doesn't need to be that aggressive. It's a bit aggressive. Oh, that's never going to need that outline because it's not going to... Yeah, just really want it on the outer edges of things. So he did like an interesting thing here. Restricted tile. I like this feature as well, the restricted tile feature of like the fill tool. It's very cool. Let you do that without having to draw like a line in there and so on. He made these ones like vertical. Does that make sense? Maybe like structurally, yeah, I guess that would make sense of how they would actually build a house. He used a colour like this, but I'm not sure if I should do that because I'm not sure why he used that colour, so maybe I should stick to just what I know. It does look good on his, but I don't know why. That's the thing with copying other artists' techniques, like you can copy what they did, but if you don't know why they did it, it probably won't work for you. Or it won't always work for you. It's interesting, it kind of draws your eye away from that. Because I kind of wanted these buildings to be slightly different shapes, but I feel like I'm drawing a roof that's going to be super bespoke. If there was anyone in here, I don't know if it was anyone in here who very recently pledged to my Patreon and brought it over 1500, thank you very much. It's very cool of you. Yeah, someone else asking, not on Twitch. Not on Twitch today. I'll be back on Twitch regularly, but I can only do one or the other at any given time. So I'm gonna try and do a bit of like maybe back and forth for a little bit, at least while we're doing, you know, we're in this period of my work where there's not a lot of regular videos out on YouTube, because it's still gonna be that way for a little while, because we've gotta get this work done. Let me post this up to Twitter though, actually, so people know that this is going on. What program am I using? I'm using Pixel Edit. A pixel spelled with a Y. P-Y-X-E-L. Edit. I don't know if it's the best tool in the universe, but I find it really useful. It crashes sometimes, but I'm just kind of used to it and it gets done what I need. Oh, he leaves a bit more space than I do. I'm a bit thicker planks. I wonder if I should do the same. All of his planks are way thicker actually, they're like 3 pixels each. Well, so are these, it's only this one that isn't actually. Do I need this to be good? Can I maybe get away with this? I probably can. Just need to remember I need to bring that other part of the door up as well. I should probably then change. That kind of thing. Let's widen this. I think they looked alright how they did. I just want to see if we, you know, just make them the same width as the other planks. There's a bit more room to work with in terms of adding some details to them. Okay. Speed typing powers. Anything that involves typing eventually comes with speed typing powers. How did I get and stay motivated and learn to stay focused so I could actually learn a coding language? I think I was talking a little bit about this before, is that I didn't really learn it in like an academic sort of way, and each to their own, I'm sure you can do it that way, but I learned it in the way that required the least like force of will and force of discipline, and that I was I just learned what I needed to learn to do the things I wanted to do, and I found the things I was learning interesting, and it just kind of came naturally, which I don't know, I feel is always like the thing people don't want to hear. I don't mean like it came naturally as in I was super good at it or anything, because I'm not. Loads of people way better programmers than me. I just mean, you know, I got the thing done because it was what I wanted to do, and I don't know. I guess the thing I'm trying to say is that I didn't do anything in particular to stay like motivated or whatever. I didn't use any tricks like that. It's just I did it as a blessing and a curse in many ways. I always do the thing I want to do. And I hate not doing the thing I want to do, which makes me very poorly disciplined, but sometimes very well and highly motivated. Which is great for getting into things and getting like to a certain level of skill and lots of things, and I'm very good at learning things and becoming proficient in stuff quickly. I'm not very good at pushing beyond that. I run into walls with my ability in lots of things because I lack. Because I am very easily I've spoken about this in a really long video I did before, but because I am very highly motivated individual, if you were, highly driven to do things, I have come to rely upon that ability, and so then I struggle when it's not enough, and I need to actually really put in hard work, and it's something I'm better at now, I think. But it's something I need. It's still a very clear and distinct weakness of mine. Next pixel art content. I'm glad. I like doing chilled out streams like this, where I can just sort of do some art and answer questions and things. Let's get. I need to get my reference, which you can see a bit of, like, sneaking into my screen now. It's this guy, by the way. This is what you can see. I'm just like, I'm no good at pixel art. I'm just stealing what this guy does. I'll openly admit that. I'm just like, I'm trying to make it completely the same, you know, and I'm just trying to learn more techniques than just completely steal it. But some bits I've just obviously just copied. Not copied and pasted, but, you know, like, I just copied the exact, like, style and technique because fucking I'm trying to learn how to do it. And he will totally be credited as the guy whose style I ripped off, and I'll be like, go buy his artwork, because mine's not as good as his as well, so, like, you're getting a light, crappy version of it in the tutorial. So I'll be like, go take this version, he or she, I don't know, go buy their thing, because it's a cool set that you can go buy. It's called RPG Village Tile Set by a guy called Pita, P-I-T-A. Go check it out, it's good. But I have no choice. If I wanted to look good, I've got to use references. My font does not support Russian white. Because I just don't think the font has the characters. I'm not sure. Or I think I think just in a very, like, safety conservative-y driven mood when I was setting it up. I think I limited the character range without really thinking much about it. So it might support Russian, I don't know. I would have checked. I don't know what character range that is though. If you know the UTF character ranges I need to allow, I can go maybe try and set it up. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's like my whole overlay isn't perfect. There's lots of things that don't display correctly. I do apologize. I am trying to make it better over time, but it's a very, like, a cobbled together thing, Game Maker. Tips for getting into game design? Just do it lots. I mean, I guess that's the obvious tip for getting into anything, I don't know, but it still feels like a really relevant one to give because a lot of people try and write documents and things without just get in there and make games, share them with people, pay attention to how your testers feel and stuff when they're playing your games, where they get stuck, what they struggle with, try making changes based on how they play, that kind of thing. If Undertale came out today, it would have the same success. Depends what you mean by today in terms of, like, what you think is, like... I mean, yeah, if, like, Undertale hadn't come out yet and it came out today, I absolutely think it would have the same success, right? I don't think Undertale was an accident. I think a lot of people look at it as, like, some big fluke. Like, I think there was... Yeah, there's obviously a good portion of luck involved with the release of any video game doing, like, exploding and doing really well like that. But Undertale's hella good. Like, we've reached that point in, like, games criticism as well, where people are looking at Undertale again and thinking, like, so was Undertale really good, or did we all just come under some sort of magic spell? And the conclusion is basically, yeah, it was actually that good, and it was actually probably better than we thought it was. I made it myself, hooking into Twitch chat IRC thing, which was stuff written by another person who does Game Maker stuff, and also hooking into the YouTube API, which is I did myself. Update the code for the overlay to the itch stuff. What do you mean, Matt? Someone was asking about PokePoke as well. I think you were just asking about how it's coming on. It's going well. It's going slowly because obviously I've got this whole thing going on. And I've got too many projects right now. It's basically my issue. Let's see, man. I'm taking forever. I know I haven't put any new pixels on the screen in a little while here. I'm just trying to think about this roof. Try not to copy too many exact shapes from my reference, but that's hard when you're doing pixel art because it's just like the shapes of the whole thing, you know? It's at least making a different color roof as well, man. That's an easy difference for you to... Let's go blue. We have a lot of nice blue. Okay. Oh, actually, let's look at the scene. What would add to this? Nice blue roof would go well. I'd have to use similar blues, I think. Let's grab the blues that are in here, if I can. Copying and pasting. The only thing, that's the thing, like copying and pasting in the software is in Game Maker is weird. Which, and in terms of using the tool, actually is not so bad. Just in terms of actually trying to copy and paste stuff between software, it's a big old pain in the butt. It just doesn't seem to actually add anything to the clipboard, and that's what I want. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to paste anything. So I don't know, I have to like manually go in and like work out what these colors are, and I'm like, who's got time? Okay. Let's just paint some of that over there. Oopsie. Yeah, I think that's 50k. I don't know. Oh, it goes through. I think there's like a maximum. I think it's like the last 50. It works differently on YouTube. I think it just grabs like the last 50 messages and just creates a person for each like unique name in the last 50 messages or something like that. I don't know. So I think there is like kind of a weird limit on how the YouTube one works. It's not perfect. Whereas on Twitch it gets like people who've actively been talking and stuff. We're doing this for additional income, but do you think if you slow down or stop to these other things, you can actually release a successful game? I mean, I'm hoping I'll release PokePoke and it'll be successful eventually. But it's interesting, like the videos and stuff that I do, like video tutorials and things like that, are my main thing still, you know? Like, that's what I do for a living. That's what actually earns me money. That's not additional income. That's my income. Additional income would be PokePoke if it came out. Like, Patreon is my main source of income, and the people who support me there do so because they watch, presumably because they watch my tutorial videos and they want me to make more of that kind of thing. This is the wrong blues to be using for this, isn't it, really? Yeah. No, it's actually good. I'm gonna go back for reds, actually. Makes it easier to blend in with this as well. And I can just pick some new colors without worrying too much about it. Yeah, but as I said, the game is not the thing I rely upon to put bread on the table and pay my bills, you know? My Patreon is, and my YouTube series is, and this stuff I'm doing, this action RPG stuff, this is my work, this is my job, you know? Making Poke is a side gig that I'm very lucky to be able to do at all. And I like it that way around, you know? Like, I've talked about this a bunch in the past, but the dream for me is not really to be able to make a living off of doing the fun, creative thing of making a video game. It's nice if you can make that work easily, but yo, that hard. The dream for me really is more about just being able to do that thing with as much time as possible. It's a means to an end if you make a living from making games to do that, because then yeah, you get to spend all your time making games. Isn't that real cool? And it is real cool. This is awesome. But it's also like highly stressful, and it can make you end up compromising the work you do, and there's a lot of problems with making the thing you love into the thing that makes you money. So I like it the way around that it is, in which I can afford to have my game fail, like in a commercial sense, but still be everything I want it to be. Because it doesn't have to commercially succeed for me to stay alive or keep doing what I'm doing, you know? God, I have no idea how these tiles need to look. I feel like I'm using way too bright of a colour here as well. I can mix them up though. I like join some of them together and everything, like, it's just wild. I suppose like that's like the main shape, right? We could just do that and then like mix them up. Yeah, let's just create a really tiled one. Something like that. Can we get that to actually tile? Can we make that a different shape? How does that look? A bit better. Although it doesn't, yeah. That would be okay, you just do that. Oh, but then they've like lined up. I don't want them lined up like that, I don't think. Yeah, I kind of want them to like... do that a bit. Yeah, like I'm kind of like... I don't know, like, because like, I really enjoy all the YouTube stuff that I do, but it's obviously not, it's not the like, it is creatively fulfilling, but it's not, you know, I am a game developer at heart, and that's the thing I like to do the most, you know, and I find most creatively rewarding. But I don't want the thing that I find most creatively rewarding to be the thing that I rely upon to sustain myself in a capitalist world, because it's terrifying. But I really enjoy the stuff I do on YouTube, and I get to kind of have my cake and eat it in that regard of being able to even do this as a job at all. It's crazy. So I like that I have this crazy cool job that I enjoy, and I get to do the video game stuff on the side, even if it means I do them both a little bit slow, you know? So I feel like, even though it's only 1 pixel, it might be easier for me to bring this out to the side, just so I can replicate this tile? I don't know. I guess then we've got this issue, right? It's like 1 pixel short of actually being like a tiling situation. I never get the hang of making seamless pixel art tiles. It just seems like so much awkward work. I recommend any good resources, books for game mechanic algorithms like pathfinding. Because I've never really used any books for that kind of thing. That's the thing, like whenever I need to learn something like that, I just kind of Google around. Or I ask people. My favourite resource for learning anything to do with Game Maker stuff at the moment is the Game Maker subreddit Discord. So r/GameMaker has an associated Discord, and it's full of very cool people, a lot of very experienced Game Maker developers hang out there. I hang out there. Yeah, it's a cool place. Can I just copy and paste this column? And I want it even for like 1 further up. Oh, that might even look alright. No, let's bring the whole, yeah. Oh, that lines up there kind of awkwardly. Oh, maybe it should, I don't know. Doesn't really matter, does it? Let's briefly make another layer underneath here. So I can bring this in. Go into roof. Straight to tile. Oh, such a good option. Copy you. Go to this layer, paste. This layer, paste. Go to roof. Said go to roof. Delete. And then just like merge that down. Just to easily mask that off. That said, I don't know how this is actually going to work. I suppose I can do that. Because the next one's only going to be that, and if it's going to be pretty much a fixed size roof anyway. Screw it. Roof tiles are hard, man. How do I learn game design on my own or school? Oh, totally by myself. Like the first experience I had, for me, it's all just been about making stuff. Making stuff, seeing how people play it, seeing how people respond to it. Playing stuff helps a bit, but like, obviously it's fundamental to a problem. Is it fundamental to a play? I don't know. I think it's highly overrated, having played loads and loads of games throughout your life to learn game design. enormously overrated and in some ways even harmful. For every gamer thinks they can be a game designer. But I have played a shit ton of games throughout my life. So I'm bringing this back down again now, is that right? No, put it back, put it back, put it all back. If anything, I want it to look like this did. But 1 pixel's all left. Yeah. But yeah, like the first tool I used was a thing called Click and Play. I've come from painting that in black to just painting this in just because I know there's going to be more of it. Alright, let's just draw this in. Screw it, we're gonna, it's never going to tile right. Or doing it would just take too long and not really even be worth it. So let's just go with what vaguely looks okay, and they should look a little off anyway. A little uneven. A little bit imperfect. Bring a nice line of this colour up here. Yeah, and I just like, I started making games really young and I've just kept doing it. Well, that's how I learned, I guess. But still, like, I wouldn't even call myself a particularly like masterful game designer or anything like that. People who know a whole lot more than me. The perspective on this just doesn't look quite right, does it? Why is that? Is it just a lighting thing? I'd like to make them more rounded, like these guys are, but I just don't really know how to accomplish that. Just chopping off the corners doesn't really do it. How much bigger his tiles. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably just a trick of the eye and that it's screwing my head up like that. I'm going to leave those ones looking a little off for now. Yeah, I might do that first before I do any more. What's it? How do I even want that to look? Just, I reckon I can get away with copying this. Well, obviously not that, but you know what I mean. Quicker if I. Oopsie. Don't actually know why I did that. I wouldn't need the front of it either, would I? Yeah, it's just the top end. Oh, would this be easier if... Hang on. Can I just grab this? Yeah, hang on. This is not restricted tile. Be easy just to draw those. Will that tile upwards? I hope so. Let's just do this there just to make sure. Yeah, it looks okay. So I still check out Fan Games. I've not done one of these streams in a little while. I do specific streams when I do that. I'm just not doing it at the moment. I'll certainly do more of those in the future. Just can't really say for sure when right now. Oh, this looks weird. There's that one at the end there. But not here. Just gotta have drawn that from a weird spot. Oops. It's actually faster to undo that, yeah. Right, that's what, yeah, that is actually what we want. Yeah. Okay. I'm doing alright, Limecus. I'm doing alright. I decided I want this a wooden beam over the top. You know what? It works and it helps make my thing a little bit less of a rip off of that guy's work. A bit. Yeah, I'll do some more underlayer painting in a minute, aren't I? Okay, let's also get this in. But if you're wondering why this series is taking a while, hopefully today's stream is showcasing some of the amount of stuff I've got to do. You know, if I'm building an action RPG and I'm doing all the graphics for it. So you could argue like, well, maybe just, you know, why waste all your time on graphics? Just use boxes and stuff. But I have a quality bar, you know. And I'd rather take the time and do something good. Oh yeah. Let's just copy and paste this whole section. I know I'm gonna be repeating some work here, but that's okay. Just do that. Miss it again. Do that. Oh yeah, we can delete all the way down here, can't we? Yeah. And oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we can merge that down actually. Don't think there's a problem with that. To keep renaming that layer, but it's alright. Oh, actually, if I do restrict the tile but turn off contiguous. Oh, it helps with these ones, but not with the rest. Yeah, because I could just delete those tiles if I wanted to. And then I turn contiguous back on. Just manually erase this now. The key with tools like this is just finding the quickest way possible to do whatever you want. For me at least. Efficiency, learning the shortcuts. Oh, I'm glad, Mama Cat. I'm glad it's feeling like progress. It can be hard to keep that in perspective yourself when you're working on a hand. Yeah, I can just copy paste that, can't I? Also, oh, it's got like a chunk in the middle. Got somewhere else. It just feels like I've rotated it slightly, doesn't it?
Well, if we're not going to bed, I'm going to have a drink.
I don't know. It's got like a hard edge, but like it's that on, yeah, and it's non-hard edge. Yeah, they changed something with the trialing. It's time limited now, which is, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of, but that's how it be right now, I think. Let's bring that shadow in. Need to work on my colours here, but let's just get this in. No, I think that's all a bit bright, I want to say. Wait, where's my... Oh, there we go. Edge tile non-contiguous. Yeah, I like that. let's first of all get you, just paint a bit over here so we can keep that colour. X, do that, bring that colour back. I need to be careful with how I do this because I need to bear in mind the kind of top-down lighting I'm sort of been doing. Be more light to the... Yeah. Yeah. I almost feel like I should do it really bright on top. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, it doesn't have to be amazing. I think it just has to at least show that I tried. Right? Is that all we need? I just need to show you I tried. See what this kind of looks like. I think this is not going to look good. Maybe I should do something more like a bit more pillow shady. I'm scared of that because people say that is bad. Well, the shadow would be cast from the ones above it, right? Sliding down on top, so maybe it would actually be more like that. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, all shapes. Don't think I can really use my reference here because the tiles look a lot different to mine. No. Something like that doesn't seem right either, does it? Separate layer and copy and paste. Yeah, maybe you're right. But the thing is, I think some of them, they're all wacky different sizes. But it might help in terms of not repeating the shadows again. Oh, I copied the wrong colour. Damn it. There we go. No, don't duplicate. Add another layer. But yeah, let's do that. Whoopsie. We just need a little highlight on each one. Maybe they don't even all need highlights. In fact, yeah, he's not really done this on his. Kind of just sort of dug in some extra shadows here and there. More than he's, yeah. More like this colour, which I think we should use as well. Grey doesn't look right. Oh, I'm doing this all on this other layer. Let's not have this other layer. Let's delete that. Stick to this layer for now. Feels a bit much actually. Let's go down like maybe one shade. Maybe one more shade. It's tough, this man. It too. Making the roof look a bit broken here, which isn't really what I want. I do want it to look at least a little... Because I think I've made them look so uniform that if, like, the moment they start to become ununiform, they start to look more broken than they look, thingied. I think if I want to highlight any of them... Oh, for fuck's sake, I've once again got rid of that colour. I liked that colour, that's assuming... That's vaguely what it was. Looks like if we want to highlight any of them this way, it needs to be like these bottom ones that would be a little bit more upturned. The chat hood is frozen. Stuff, man. Huh, maybe it is. When was that? I think you're right. There'll be a few issues with that because I've just not thingied it in ages. Used it on YouTube in ages. Oh, is that even that doesn't look like it's getting YouTube. I did rebuild it. Did I put it in the wrong place? Oh. Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be getting from YouTube anymore, does it? I'm gonna blame YouTube for this. I don't know. I don't know why it's just stopped getting from the API. I'll quickly test in here, see if I can see what the problem is on like an obvious level, but I kind of want to get this roof done. Okay, so now this one's working okay. Let's build it out again, I guess. I'll put it in this one for now. Don't think there's anything in here I need. So I know it's... There we go, I thought it still wasn't working from thinking then, but yeah, okay. Making a game, not quite. Making a tutorial series on... Oh, I suppose I am making a game as part of making a tutorial series. Oh, has my camera gone all dark again? I feel like I have to manually update my webcam settings throughout the day because I can't keep consistent light in here. Not without setting up the full recording lighting stuff, which I can't really... Even then, like the window is just too much. I can't wait to move to the new house where doing all this will be a lot easier. Up these things. Save. There's an auto setting, but it never quite does what I want. What's up, Doomish guy? Now I've got this at the edge of here, I'm wondering why. Why do I even have the wall start there, you know? I feel like it should look more like this one does. Or rather this one. Oops. And just be like that about it. But yeah, that becomes annoying. The easy thing is to do that, and it looks okay, but maybe it should actually be. Pixel art's hard, man. Pixel art's hard. I don't think I like the C shapes. Keep them looking fairly flat. I think I'm going to stop trying to be too fancy. Pretty much just going to let it be how it be soon, I think. Except that I don't really have the skill yet to make it look much better than this. It's frozen again. It's just the chat that seems to get frozen, isn't it? Don't know why. I wonder if it's something to do with the weird bug that killed, that used to crash it before. That I made some changes that I thought might have kind of fixed it. And Game Maker has had some runtime changes since then that I thought might have also helped fix it. To do with like emojis and stuff. You see like where it says Matthew Hope says hi, and then there does an emote. I think, yeah, like the overlay doesn't process. It didn't process almost very well at all and created all kind of weird memory holes where all sorts of bizarre things start happening if you typed emotes in certain ways on YouTube. I've not really thought about that problem in a while because I've just been streaming on Twitch. So I think that might be cropping up again in a slightly different way because I think stuff has changed in the runner since then. Yeah, we've got like Lucy ones here that are like turned up a bit and have a bit more colour on them. On the red, on the left of the roof, alpha. I don't really want to put a gradient on it. Might make some lighter tiles though, like if I take you, just go up like one shade. Oops. Oh, maybe shade on the brightness scale. Oh, that's still a bit much, isn't it? Look at this. A little bit less saturation, a little bit more brightness. No, not the matte colour. Fucking hell. And then also the same thing. Just a little bit darker on a couple of them. That's good. It's like the same colour as that, isn't it? Draw that. A little lighter then. It's interesting, it looks way brighter here than it does there. It's just a trick of my eye. I don't think we can worry too much about this, for sure. I did whip you, so. couple of years. My name didn't really end up on many shipped games as a result. But I'm credited on the crew. And I did small amounts of work on various different things, a lot of which got cancelled. Will those be like, nah, we'll leave the same bright colour. Red lines at the top look bad. Oh, you don't like the bright lines there? I think I might agree actually. Just looks, yeah. It'd look okay if I think there was more and better highlighting, better detail all around, but I don't think what I've got really supports that. Get some of these a bit brighter though. Couple of these in. Yeah, that one can be that. It's a bit much. That's fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I think that's fine. That's all we're gonna fade out. Whether we'll fade it out all the way or not, I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted to do a door even in the end as well. Actually, I'll just leave it open for now. The other thing I have though is like whether I want to do. I might just. This is not the right. Program. Because like I was like, oh, I know you can use the tiles to do different shaped buildings. I'm like, yeah, I can, but do I want to? Also, yeah, this isn't quite right. I need to bring this to a whole nother layer. Oh, what? When did I? Right. Okay, good. Alright. On this layer, we select this, and we'll copy, and we make a new layer over the top of this. We bring this visible again, and we paste. Is that correctly positioned? Something seems off about that. Oh yeah, okay. Does this need that hard outline? I'm not convinced it does. I think I did it all the time because I was like, oh yeah, that'll be the outer edge, but I forgot that I was drawing this and over the top of it. That looks better. making a trailer for it. I don't know, man. Game's not really ready for a trailer. It's not really something I'm thinking about yet. What program is this? Is a pixel edit. What's this thing? This doesn't quite work. Oh, I'm sure. Something about it just doesn't seem right. Oh, I'm drawing all this on. That layer, man. Right, I just. Oh, that does look better though, but cut. Just gonna merge you down. Do I want to? Because I do want to keep this separate. Reasons. Oh, do I? No, I guess I don't. Merge that. Yeah, just merge that down. But yeah, I don't know what happened here. Maybe everything got shifted over. I'm not sure when or how. What happened? What happened here? Did you see what I did? What screwed up the balance of this so much? What did I do? The 2-column one has appeared out of nowhere. I don't even know how to fix it. Just keep going, I guess. I'm just going to keep shifting all this across. Did I copy and paste and flip at one point maybe, without realizing these sides aren't exactly equal? That's probably it. That's almost definitely it, actually. I have too many of those. I don't really need that many. Overthinking this bit. That'll do. I think. Alright. Right. Couldn't really tell you anything about promotion. If you were asking me, not sure. Not sure what NG means. I'm not really used enough of Sprite to tell you. I used it a little bit. I don't think I couldn't really get along with the UI. And I just, I don't put that much thought into the tools that I pick. If I can vaguely get along with the tool, I just use it. I don't really agonize over that kind of thing. Oh, right. Makes sense, I guess. Okay, turns out I needed to move this even further down, so let's resize that canvas again. Like there. Wait, what? No. That's not how it works. That needs to be the top of the tile. Yeah. Bottom of the tile even. I have a keyboard, so I make my music. Sometimes. I've not really done that in a long time, and when I did, it was very much a dabble. But I know a little bit of music stuff. My very basic knowledge is in itself rusty, so yeah, barely capable in that regard. I did do music for Another Perspective because it was like 5 notes or whatever. And then I just played the same song backwards about halfway through the game. Although a friend did the music for the finale, that's way better than all the other music. I just feel like I want to do that. I don't know, it doesn't feel wide enough when it comes in. I'll just leave it how it was. It's fine, stop fiddling with it. Let's get this in. Just thinking about how I want to do this. How that be? Nah. Grab this. 0 if I can. Paste it down here. Without you. I guess I still want to show that though, don't I? It's like, I want to kind of have both. That means you're going to be on top of that though. I'm not sure how I want to handle this bit. I suppose I could turn this into like little stumps or whatever. Since I've already covered that. Yeah, just like in the same way I did this. So I could do like a... Feel a bit weird, almost feel like that should technically stick out more of the floor, doesn't it? Should we be brave and do that? Why not? We've come this far. It'll do. It'll do. Oh, hang on. That's good enough. I reckon. Control Z enough times. There we go. Silent? I hope I'm not silent. That's okay. Those are all the unique tiles as well. So yeah, I'm happy with that as the distribution of those. We'll leave those in just because for now. So we keep changing this tile set. Will it break anything if I... yeah. Shouldn't think so. It's the same layout of everything, I think. Nope, never mind, it broke everything. I think it's okay if you keep adding vertically, it's when you add horizontally it screws up, doesn't it? Yeah. What was it before it came up to there? We would reduce that back down. It might just fix it. Ugh. Hey! Genius. Absolute genius. See, I don't know if the tiles I have are gonna... Oh yeah, because I used a different tile set for these, didn't I? Those tiles up there, yeah. I think, yeah, let's remove this layer. Into tiles. And the floor is just going to be where the house is, right? So... Could you tell me do that, I guess? Make that wider? Like, what would that look like if I just did this? Oh yeah, that would just go. Close though. Can we make it one wider? I'm not sure we're gonna get away with that. Let's at least make one the correct size before we try and do anything too fancy. Ah, you just want to grab a tile from the... Oh yeah. Okay. Tiles overflow, let's just erase everything for now. Change that to T tiles. Try and keep everything on one big tile now, I think. The actual YouTube chat died as well. Have I gone silent? Can you all still hear me? I hope you can. I know the overlay is dead, but hopefully chat itself is not dead. Oh, it's still in top chat mode as well. Live chat. It's better. I get why that's a thing, but I totally don't need it. F. Alright, cool. Cool. Everything's good. Good. Just worried with how with the thing having broken. I was worried that just everything had broken. We can just make two of the exact same size. Screw it. Screw trying to be too fancy. It's not a pixel art tutorial. It's an ActionRPG tutorial. Get them done. Right. Oh god damn it! I've just drawn that on there. God Dumbo. leave that on. We can just do these occupy the whole tile, so I can put them on the tile there pretty comfortably. Oops, let's just copy paste this chunk over here. And we'll just rename this, there's nothing on it. Tiles roof. Bonk. Can't even see the far end of it. Bonk, bonk, bonk. If I made these bits like independent of that position, I could probably resize and redo, make this a more modular tile set, but doesn't need to be. I'm thinking too much as if I was making an actual game rather than one I'm actually making. Oh, I should have done some little pokey up grass bits on it as well, it could have been cool. It's on the layer system. What do you want to know about it? Sure, immediate tips necessarily. I'm sure I have some, but don't immediately come to mind. That's a good look. Just merge some of these together, just make it look a little bit, improve that scene a little bit more. I'm about it. I wish the war came up a little more. This is what I did before. That's a bit nicer. Don't know what I'm going to do about going this way, but we'll just have some guard here or something. But the scene's starting to come together. Because in the object, like in the old GMS1, it still had depth, but GMS2 it doesn't. You do have depth. Like the easiest, I'm not sure this is entirely how it works, but the easiest way to think of it is like each layer has a depth. Look, if you click on each layer in the layer properties, and they just automatically arrange themselves. Like tile roof is depth 100, instances is 200, this is 300, and so on. And because it automatically arranges like that, it can make some things a little more complex when you're trying to do like a depth equals -y type thing, which you can still do. It's just then makes it a bit more tricky when you're working with layers, having to set them. If you want a layer that's above anything doing layer equals -y, it has to be like a big negative number. You can manually set them in here so they organize themselves in that way. But depth, what it is like an ordering. Depth is the ordering of your layers, really, rather than anything specific to the actual depth, you know. And so when you set something to a depth, you create a temporary layer at that depth. And you put that thing on that layer, which you can still do just as you always did in GameMaker. You don't set it in the object anymore though, because they kind of want you to just put objects on layers. But you can set it in GML still in an instance. So in the create event, you can just say depth equals whatever, and then it doesn't matter what layer you put it on, because when it gets created and runs that code, it'll just set itself to a temporary layer on that depth. But that's why you don't have depth in the objects anymore, because there'd be no point setting a depth, and then there'd be no point placing objects on your layers if they had a depth value just set in the object editor. but you can still do that if you want to. Yeah. Hopefully that makes things marginally clearer. I don't know. Probably do some little signs for these at some point, tell you what's actually going to be in each one. I was going to do a little Zelda style shop so that you can pick up an item for X gold or whatever, but I think I might just do them as a little shopkeeper man or something that just says buy this for this in a dialogue or something. I need to show the basics. And Quest Man can be in here. Okay. Time is it? 4 o'clock. I think what we'll do, we'll try and do this system by which... hang on. Let's clean up this layer. By which I don't know if I want to keep this in like this collision thing, but like it just feels like the easier. I'm not going to write something that dynamically works out with each layer, like collision tiles, non-collision collidable tiles, and that kind of thing. Because I might have exceptions. This is actually the most flexible. It's just it can be a pain to manage sometimes. These flowers actually work. I just noticed these flowers were kind of on non-grass tiles, but they kind of work, even though that was sticking out of the water a little. I think that looks okay. I'll leave it that way. So yeah, what I'm going to do is try and get the tile roof fading thing working, because I think it should be straightforward, and then probably call it a day. So I'm going to steal a shader from PokePoke, because that one works pretty straightforward. Why am I doing this without just setting? Oh yeah, because you can't. Yeah, I looked for ages to see if there was just like a simple built-in like layout alpha. I'm surprised there isn't really. I fully imagine that something will get added in the future, and this part of the tutorial will become obsolete. So I will mention that in the video. I'll be like, it's possible you're living in a better time than me when people can just set layer alpha to equal something and it will automatically do this thing. But we don't live in that time right now as I'm making this video, so here's a shader you can use to set it up. And just, you know, just little basic things about how to work with shaders is handy, you know, to have in a tutorial. So we will do that. Because I already showed how to do Flash, which is actually more complex than doing this. Yeah, it's always white Flash, isn't it? I'll just call it shader alpha as well. That's all it is. It's not really specific to tiles. It can be used for anything to fade it out. I mean, GMS2 is a 3D engine technically. I mean, it is and it isn't, you know? Depends how you define those things. If you rotate the camera around, all of a sudden the game's 3D. Like, that's pretty much all it is. Like, it's still drawing a triangle, like 2 triangles at the end of the day to do the way it does everything. It just doesn't have. You just have to. If you want to do something 3D in Game Maker, you just have to do all the work yourself. Even down to the point of like, if you try and bring a 3D model into Game Maker, you've got to write a script that will translate the format of. That will read that file, like as if it were a text file, you know, and get all the info and like interpret that into individual, you know, vertexes and so on. You can do that in the engine itself. Unless you mean by engine you mean the IDE, like the tool set, you know, the software. In which case, no, I doubt it. Who knows? You never know what the future might bring, but it's never been the focus or the strong point or, you know, the selling point. Game Maker, because why would it be? You know, they would need a lot of other stuff in that first to justify bothering doing like the ability to bring in models and stuff like that, 'cause you can't do that at the moment. You have to define vertexes and things and drawing the camera and stuff all yourself. So there'll be so much groundwork to do on even beginning to get to the point where it's worth or even makes sense as a concept to have a 3D thing inside the toolset. Just not really built for that. Like I said, there are certain kinds of 3D games I think perfectly viable and actually not, like, it's a perfectly decent choice of tool to make certain kinds of 3D games. Like, better than, like, say, Unity would. But it's a very, very specific type of game. I mean, I don't know about that either. I think it's the right thing to do to focus on all the 2D stuff. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I brought the script shader in. So what I want to do is we're going to go into our general manager of game. Do I want a separate? I don't really want it in a separate object. Do I? I do transitions in a separate object. No, we'll do it in here. If layer exists, layer get ID tiles roof. Sure, we will just hard code that in. Layer yeah, this is why I use layer script begin, is because it's the only place it, rather than layer shader, is because it feels like it's the only place it makes sense to set those variables. Unless I just give it a layer script begin that sets the variables and just do the shader. Could do that. We'll see if that works. May as well try it a different way and see if it works. I mean, I have a way I know it works, but this might be better. What does that do if the layer doesn't exist in the first place? Because there's no point doing layer exists on it. Yeah, if I give a layer that does not exist, then it... Wait, what? So the doc's the layer ID, right? What is this nonsense? Say, if you give the name of a layer that does not exist in the room, then you'll get an error and the project will crash. And yet it says it returns -1 if the layer specified doesn't exist. Eh? I'm pretty sure I do anyway because I've done this kind of thing before. But I've realised there's no point now. What's the point in... I don't actually know the point in that if I actually have an ID for it. I don't. So it's just if that does not equal -1. I'm sure it doesn't crash. I'm sure I've done that before, it just doesn't. It's fine. I'll try that though, let's see what... Well, sorry about that, Veroxas. Welcome anyway. Yeah, so that's fine. That didn't come up with any kind of error. So, lying, Docs. You lie. Do I know a way of getting a sound to play at a certain frame of a sprite? The image index equal 3 only sometimes works. I think sometimes it skips the frame but still shows it. Well, it sounds like your problem there is mostly... I mean, does it always play? If it always plays the sound and it's just the timing is a little wrong, it's like... It's tough because sound doesn't really work in tandem with frames exactly. You can sound audio is always a bit asynchronous, so you can tell it to start doing the thing, but then it kind of does it in its own time. But the closest you can get is trying to play it on the frame as it happens. But it depends also on your frame rate. Like when you do if image index equals 3, that's fine if your image speed always hits whole integers. But if it doesn't always play, that means that your image index isn't always equaling exactly 3, even though it might be showing the 3rd frame. So you might be doing if you're progressing by 0.25 or whatever, if you're 10 frames a second animation, but you've got 60 frames a second, or 15 isn't easier just because of the maths. If you're doing 15 frames a second at 60 FPS, 60 steps a second, then you're advancing it doesn't hold it and advance 1 frame every 4 steps. It's advancing your image index by 0.25 every step. So that would hit because that's a nice round number, but if you've got something like 10 or whatever where it's 0.66 each time, then it's it's never going to be exactly 3. Floor image would work, yes, but you've got to then bear in mind that that might be at multiple times. So it might be 3.01, or it might be 3.25, then it might be 3.5, and those all would be it. So you would want to check to see you would either want to check to see if the sound is already playing, but if you've got multiple objects that can do this, you might not want to do it that way. Or you might want to have checked during this state or whatever is going on whether or not you have played that sound yet. You need something to make sure you don't just play it 4 times over the course of being on that frame. It's tricky. It's tricky. Making games, it's not easy. And if you're flooring it and you're checking that and everything and you're still not getting the sound sometimes, then the only thing I can assume is that you're just never actually on that frame. Alright, okay. Var. Just can't help myself but do a var if I know I'm going to be using it twice. Nah, screw it. I'm gonna do it the way I always do it. It makes sense to me. I don't really like using layer shader if I actually have things I need to pass to the shader. I'm actually gonna just steal it straight from PokePoke as well. I'll have to update it a little, but if I go to scripts, what did I call it? Like fake tile, something or other. Fake tile, alpha set and reset. Yeah, let's grab you, and also you. We'll rename you, but yeah, that's fine. You fake alpha. That's also fine. And we'll set that in our game. Oh, no. We'll just call it roof rather than fake tile for this. That's mostly what it'll be, even though you could use it in the same way. Sorry, so it's this. Roof tile alpha equals 0. U roof tile alpha is shader uniform get uniform? Yeah, get uniform. Name of the shader is sure transparent tar no. Sure alpha, right? That's what I call it. And the uniform name is alpha. Oh, sorry, it's half an hour. You gotta wait. You don't get fed yet, I'm afraid. Sorry, I shouldn't even be talking back to you. I shouldn't be rewarding your incessant meowing when you think you deserve to be fed. Trill's mean. Cause I like talking to the cat, but we've taught her too much to be a shouty, whingy cat. We must try and undo the horror that we have unleashed. If event 0, so if it's number 0, which it will be, that's checking to make sure it's in the draw step. Yeah. And then if that's, yeah. The only thing you get out of this if you use layer shader is you don't need this script. And then in here you just do, you don't have to do this either. It's like, I don't know. I like it this way. Just feels like I understand exactly what's happening a bit better. I don't have to rely on any unknown behaviors. Hopefully it doesn't think I'm talking to her. I'm not looking at her at least. I don't want to shut you out, but I might have to. Half an hour, really. I'm gonna... Feel so mean. We'll knock her out for half an hour. That's when she gets fed in half an hour. Alpha 0. Just do 0.0 to remind me that it's float. Should I go uniform? I think this is pretty much spot on. Alright, here. Script. Roof. Tile. Alpha set. Oops. End. Oh yeah, we don't do that. I'm glad I could help. My name is Micah. It's very cool to hear. Okay. Then we just need to actually set that alpha to anything over. Right, we're starting at right, we need it at 1 initially. I'm going to duplicate this layer as I'm gonna have 2. I was gonna do it like so as long as you're just in. Like a roof zone, so as long as you're in like a particular area, it's gonna be like. Oh. Hang on. First of all, let's clear this. It's going to be like, oh, if you're in here, then just turn on that layer. But it does let you, I mean, it would like do that and it would show both of them at once. How could I do it? Is there an easy, I don't want to make a super complex system for this. I might not, I might just let it show both at once. I was like, oh, I could tie them by name, by roof zone 1, tiles roof 1, and then dynamically working. It'd be a nice system in the end, but it would be way too much for the sake of the tutorial, I think. Glad to hear it. Making like an action RPG thing for the sake, it's a very simple thing just for the sake of doing a tutorial. So you start here, you go in the river, there's some slimes, you beat up, there'll be a cave here that I need to draw that as well. You go into this cave, you find a guy's hat, you bring it back to him, and it's like, you win! And that's like the game. There'll be a shop here and a little quest here, and you can get money and buy things, and that's just, you know, showing like the basics of structuring that kind of thing. Dialogue and all that nonsense. Well, let's just do the roof for now. I think I'm going to do it how I'm going to do it for now, and if I want to show a fancier version, I will, but people should be glad I'm showing this at all, really. It's already extra on top of what I was offering, so yeah, we'll do this. should technically be a different one. So yeah, my name is Micah. Or I guess Micah. Thanks for stopping by. My keyboard. It's just like a Razer something or other. Razer Stealth or something nonsense like that. Wrong one. Why is that messed up? No. That's why. That might just work. Let's find out. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Oh, and that should be turned off too. No, okay. Well, first of all, let's turn that on. Turn that off. Hey, that's cool. And then we can set a target for that as well, of being like, yeah. Probably want to set those to be above the player as well. So you can't just appear over the wall like that. The general idea is there. Let's just change that to like 2.5. Yeah, it's one of it, but it doesn't have like crazy rainbow keys or whatever. It's just green. It is a Black Widow, I think, but it's not the chroma one, I don't think. You can see the grass behind it. It looks like the roof's like broken there or something, just from the pattern. Cool. A lot of little fine tweaks that need making to this stuff. I'm just making sure everything works well enough before I sort of go through and like refactor. I just noticed the UI doesn't show that. That's cool. I mean, obviously from the way I set that up, I guess, but well, I thought it was cool. Kind of want to do like a little shadow behind them or something. I want to stand out a bit more. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's my last thing of the day. Another layer, drag it underneath, copy you, set to black, copy you, color black, opacity, about a quarter-ish. twice, that's annoying. Like that. Or... I'm sure that used to work. Maybe you need onion skinning on or something. I'm sure there was a way you could like do selecting over multiple frames and stuff in this. Maybe they got rid of it. Causing problems or something. I wonder, should that be like an even grayer colour? Just on this particular frame. This one is totally out. I'm gonna say yes. We'll change it later if not. NPCs, yeah. They're not gonna. They're basically just gonna be the signposts, though, right? They're not gonna really have complex behavior. They're gonna be signposts with the added feature that they'll look at you, like they'll face the right direction or whatever when they talk to you, and maybe they'll rotate around or something, you know. Otherwise, they'll work the exact same way as these, and they'll have a different background on the text, which I can already do. I don't think I have anything that demonstrates it at the moment, but yeah, that they have that specific text because this background because it's like the wood color. But I can set different backgrounds to that very easily. Very subtle, that shadow on those actually. Probably make that a bit darker. I wanted it to be subtle, but maybe not that subtle. Just double it up. That's better. You still show above it at the moment, which is annoying anyway. That's the thing. Yep. Can you set the depth of the layer individually? I might do that in here. There we go, and you're actually underneath it at least. Let me just get my ears in there. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's interesting though. How do I want to deal with that actually? That's a good question. How do I want to do that? Also, I think I didn't update the outline on this. I didn't see the hard outline doesn't fit there. However, wherever I copied it, I think yeah, because where I copied and pasted it from didn't have the hard outline. Fix that another time. But I do need to think about how that's going to work. something in there. It makes sense for like every other part of this to be a thing you'd be under. It's not. Yeah. And even that, like, it makes sense when you're here, but not when you're here. Like, each tile needs its own bloody depth, but then that's not gonna work, is it? I'm gonna have to do some reading about that and think about how I want to do that. That's for another time. I can, but then I'd have to bring those tiles way up higher. It wouldn't work the way I wanted it to if I did do that. Let's see there. No, if I'm assuming I know what you mean. If I just take this bit and just leave that as the bit I show in, it wouldn't look quite right when it fades out. Like, I want to keep this in there, and I could do that if I brought that like up higher, but I like it like that. I think I just need to work it out. Might be fine how it was before, where you are actually just over the top of it. But we will see. We will see. Resolution am I using? 320, 180. It's a pretty good one. It's a good fallback one if you don't know what else to use. That and double it, so like 640, 360. Those are good. The reason those are good is because they multiply very cleanly upwards to 1080. 360 times 3 is 1080. 640 times 3 is 1920. Have I ever worked on a game with someone, or do I do my game solo? I mean, yeah, I'm working on Pokeball with a couple of people. I haven't programmed a game with someone, not really. I did a little bit of that at a global game jam once, but very rarely do that kind of thing. Work with other people, like other team members, people who do art and sound and that kind of thing. But I'm much more used to doing stuff by myself, yeah. Anywho, that's going to be it from me today, 10 to 5 now. I'm going to call it there. Think about feeding the cat in 10 minutes, and then, I don't know, go play some video games or something. That's me done. Does collision rectangle list function work as a function in your version? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how you write it anyway. Yeah, rectangle list. Yeah, they're really good, those functions. They're super good. Save this, we'll commit it as well. So next week, if I stream, I keep saying that, I can't remember if I'm doing anything else next Friday, but typically I stream every Friday. But typically I stream over on Twitch. So if you want to watch the next stream, I'll probably be back on Twitch. So go to twitch.tv/SeanJS. Hit your followy button. But I will pop out here now and again to do some streams as well. I'm just going to try and mix and match it for a bit and, I don't know, see if I want to lean one way or the other. Yeah, ARPG. Yeah, houses and rooftops. No. I've not, no. Mario Maker looks really cool, but it's not a game that needs more free time than I have at the moment. Breaks the lighting engine. I'm having questions. Can't remember. I can't imagine why I'd do that. Blank screen software, Hyper. It's just it's just a replacement like console window. Just like you would just open like just a replacement like CMD like terminal window. And I just use it to operate Git and commit stuff to Bitbucket and that. Keep meaning to do a video on source control, but my patrons, I put it to a vote for them. They didn't seem super interested. So it might be a while before that sort of thing shows up, but I do want to do a video on that at some point. Just might be a while. Let's save this. There's a decent little chunk of work on stream. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. You used it in the shadow map creation? No, I didn't use collision rectangle list in it on the lighting engine video. Unless you're talking about the lighting engine itself uses it, and I don't know. Oh, hang on, are you trying to use that engine in 1.x? Because I don't think it's meant to work in 1.x. I don't know. But I'm not the person to ask about that. If you're having any issues with that lighting engine, you're going to go ask them. Anyway, that's all from me. Be streaming again next Friday, I expect. Probably over on Twitch. Well, then I don't know if that's big. What else was I going to say? There probably won't be a video next week because I'm still... You've seen how, I've got a lot to do on this RPG. But I don't know. Oh, thank you for the follow. Someone popped over. Someone did as suggested and came over and followed. Thank you very much. I've missed the guy's name. Trying to look up the live thing. It's been really so. Howwise, thank you very much. Dropping by and following me on Twitch, because that's where I'll probably be next week. Sorry for the drought in videos. I'm trying to make sure there is still delicious Game Maker content for you guys, even if it's just a lot of these sort of chill live streams of me working on stuff. Alright. Thanks guys. Catch you all next time. Bye bye.